Most people know the name Sweeney Todd, the barber of Fleet Street, a man who, according to the story, would sit his customers down, cut their throats, and send their bodies somewhere below the shop. It sounds like one of those exaggerated old tales, something people pass around because it's disturbing. I used to think that too, until I found the shop. This was about a year ago. I was in London for a few days. Nothing unusual, just a short trip. On my last night there, I decided to walk instead of taking a cab back to my hotel. I didn't know the area well, just followed whatever streets looked familiar. At some point, I realized I was lost. The streets were quieter than they should have been. Most of the shops were closed, lights off. That's when I noticed one place still open. A barber shop called Sweeney Todd. Small, old-looking. The kind of place you don't really see anymore. The sign above was a bit faded. I almost walked past it, but then I caught my reflection in the window. I hadn't shaved in a few days, looked rough. I don't know why that mattered at that time, but I went in. The bell above the door rang softly as I stepped inside. The place smelled strange, not dirty, just old. Like wood and something metallic underneath it. There was one chair in the middle, and a man standing behind it. He didn't greet me right away, just looked at me through the mirror. "Sit," he said. His voice was calm. I hesitated. Something about the place felt off, but I ignored it and I sat down. The chair creaked slightly under my weight. He draped the cloth over me, tucked it in tight around my neck. Too tight. "Just a trim," I said. He didn't respond, just picked up the razor. I watched him through the mirror. His movements were precise, slow, too careful. I was looking at the mirror behind me, just to check out the place. "Keep still," he told me, without even looking at me. That's when I heard it. A faint sound right from below. Not loud, but enough to notice, like something shifting or scrapping. I swallowed. "Is there someone else here?" I asked. He gave me no answer. He just kept working. Then I felt something. The chair moved just slightly, like it wasn't fully stable. I gripped the armrest. "Hey, what is this?" He leaned closer, close enough that I could see his face clearly in the mirror. There was no expression, just focus. Then he said something quietly. "Most people don't notice." My chest tightened. "Notice what?" He didn't answer. Instead, he tilted the chair back. Too far. Further than a normal chair should go. I felt my weight shift, like I was about to fall. That's when I saw it. Behind him. For a split second, the mirror caught something. A gap in the floor, directly beneath the chair. Dark and deep. I reacted without thinking. I grabbed onto the sides of the chair and forced myself forward. The cloth tightened around my neck as I moved. "Stay still," he said again. But this time, his voice wasn't calm. I pushed harder. The chair shifted again. Something underneath it clicked. That was enough. I stood up suddenly, pulling the cloth off. The razor slipped from his hand and hit the floor. We both froze for a second, then I ran. I didn't look back, didn't stop. I pushed the door open and got out onto the street. The air felt different immediately, like I'd just stepped out of somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. I kept walking, fast, didn't turn around, didn't go back. The next day, I tried to find the shop again. Same street, same area, but it looked abandoned. I asked someone nearby about it. They looked confused. Said there hadn't been a barber there in a long time. I didn't argue, didn't explain. That place still gives me nightmares. I stopped at a church in Cornwall. Something was perched above me. I wasn't exploring. I was lost. No signal, no GPS. Just narrow roads and fields that all looked the same in the dark. That's when I saw the church. It sat on a low hill, isolated from everything around it. No lights, no houses nearby, just a tower rising above the roofline. I pulled over to check my phone. No surface. I don't know why I got out. Maybe it was the silence. It didn't feel like normal countryside quiet. It felt contained. The path up to the church was uneven, overgrown, like no one used it anymore. The door was already open, not wide, just enough that it didn't need to be pushed. I stepped inside. The smell hit first. Damp stone, old wood, and something faintly animal. The interior was empty, pinched out of place, dust on everything. Then I heard it, a short scrap above me. I looked up. The tower staircase was to my right. I waited. Nothing. I should have left. Instead, I went up. The steps were narrow, enough that my shoulder brushed the wall. Halfway up, that smell got stronger. Not rot, not dirt. An animal. Fresh enough that it didn't belong in an abandoned place. At the top, there was a small open chamber. Moonlight coming through the window. I stepped in, looked around. It was empty. I moved toward the window, looked out over the trees. Something crossed the opening. Not from below, but from the side, like it had passed through the air. I stepped back immediately. A few seconds later, it happened again. Slower. That's when I leaned forward and looked down. Something was in the courtyard. At first, I thought it was crouching. Then I realized It was perched, balanced on the stone edge of a low wall. Its body faced the church, but its head was turned up toward me. It didn't move. Its shape wasn't right. Too narrow through the torso. Shoulders pulled inward, and behind it, something folded. Not arms, but wings. It was pressed tight against its back. I stayed completely still, then it shifted its weight. Its feet gripped the stone, clawed. The wings loosened slightly, not spreading, just enough to show their size. It was longer than its entire body. I stepped back from the window, and the moment I did, it reacted. Not by climbing, not by running. It just dropped out of sight, then a heavy impact against the outside wall. It was close, too close. I backed away from the opening. Something scraped against the stone below. Then another impact, higher up. I moved toward the stairs, fast but controlled. Halfway down, something hit the wall above me, hard. I ran the rest of the way, pushed through the door, and got outside. I turned just once. It was on the tower, not climbing, holding onto it, vertical. Its body pressed against the stone, wings partially open, not for flight, but for balance, and its face was still. No expression, with an owl head, just fixed on me. I didn't wait. I got in my car and left. I didn't slow down until I reached the main road. Lights, traffic, and noise. Everything normal again. I told myself that was it, that it stayed there. And every time I go to bed, I keep having dreams about it. That owl head, that expression. Thank you friends for watching. Please hit the subscribe button to keep the channel up. Have a wonderful night.